Hello, good beings, and welcome to Midnight Requiem. Today we'll be talking about the Voodoo Queen Marie Laveau, born in 1801 in New Orleans, Louisiana. She was considered the Voodoo Queen because of powers reportedly including healing the sick, extending altruistic gifts to the poor, and overseeing spiritual rites. There is still confusion regarding Laveau's year of birth. There are some documents indicating that she was born in 1794, while some research supports in 1801 as the year of her birth. Laveau became a hairdresser to create economic stability for herself and her family through interaction with her black clients who were house servants. She was exposed to personal information about her wealthy white clients who often sought her counsel. She used this information to give informed counsel to people who sought advice from her concerning their personal affairs. Many wealthy and politically affluent individuals, both white and black, paid Laveau for personal advice, intervention in some situation, and protection against any evil energy that might have been placed against them. Said by some to be granddaughter of a powerful priestess, Laveau reportedly had a familiar background in African spirituality. She was drawn to religion after the death of her mother. She underwent the tutelage of Dr. John Boyou, a well-known conjurer. She did not take long to dominate the culture and society of voodoo in New Orleans. As a queen for several decades, Laveau was a mother to many. People sought her advice for martial affairs, domestic disputes, issues, childbearing, finances, health, and good luck. Laveau would console her practitioners by supplying them with advice with protective spiritual objects such as candles, powder, and an assortment of other items mixed together to create gris-gris. Marie Laveau would attend the gatherings in Congo Square on Sundays and sell her gris-gris bags, offer advice and service to her community, and partake in the celebration. It is there that the legend talk about her singing and performing her spiritual celebration, conjuring the great serpent spirit, and becoming filled with the spirit, wearing her queen of voodoo crown proudly. The Congo Square celebration were weekly. However, there was one night a year that was sacred to the Creoles who practice voodoo, St. John Eves. This day is acknowledged and celebrated among many cultures and religions, dating back to the Celtics, Druids, and European pagan rituals. For the New Orleans voodoo community, it meant coming together for ritual bathing in sacred waters and communing around bonfires, and like the Sunday Congo Square celebration, St. John Eves ceremonies were supposedly led by Marie Laveau. Marie Laveau attended daily mass well into her old age and visited prisoners, trying to convince them to repent their sins for salvation. Surely the folks in the French Quarter saw her continue with her routines over the decades. During the later years of her life, Laveau had to move her practice across the Mississippi River to the area of New Orleans known as Algiers. Algiers was the first point of arrival of enslaved African people in New Orleans, and also the birthplace of voodoo in New Orleans. After her death in 1881, voodoo in New Orleans lost a great deal of its adherents. As more people began assimilating economically and socially, the need to depend on ancient rites and traditions of the old-time religion decreased. Voodoo began taking on new forms, becoming incorporated into other religions. Laveau was buried in St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 in New Orleans, Louisiana. Each year, thousands of visitors flocked to her tomb and adorned her plot with spiritual regalia, candles, money, and flowers, and assorted personal items. On her tomb, there is a plaque that says, "This Greek revival tomb is the reputed burial place of this notorious voodoo queen. A mystic voodooism of African origin was brought to the city from Santo Domingo and flourished in the 19th century. Marie Laveau was the most widely known of many practitioners of the cult. There is a ghost and voodoo tour that leads to believe that Marie Laveau was indeed a voodoo queen and that her ghost still roams her cottage on St. Anne and has been sighted at her tomb. But sadly, the only record of the truth to any of those stories is that she indeed lived and died in her St. Anne cottage while it was demolished in 1907. There have been songs written about her. She has inspired movies and the popular television show American Horror Story has created a fan cult devoted to her legend. She has crossed the line from a historical figure to famous pop culture icon 138 years after her death. Marie Laveau will always be a central figure in the history of New Orleans. If we go by the obituaries that were written about her, she was a healer and a philanthropist. She was a woman who nursed the unfortunate souls stricken by yellow fever, who ministered to prisoners in the Parche prison, and who attended Catholic Mass daily. Perhaps there was voodoo woven through her faith and service. We will never know. But the one rumor that has proven itself to be true was that secrets were safe with Marie Laveau, and still are. Now remember, my good beings, be nice, loving, caring to each other. With each of us caring for each other, loving and understanding, we will all make this world better. I hope everyone has a beautiful night and a wonderful day.